Good morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working with Chapter 1, 1-7, and we're going to be finding the area of rectangles, squares, parallelograms, and triangles. As you can see, I've already drawn in the various shapes. Over here we have the rectangles and squares, and the formula is area equals length times width. A parallelogram, the formula is very similar. We just basically change the letters. It's base times height. You can always find the height by looking for the dashed lines. The dashed lines will connect with the base, and you'll see usually a square at the base of it, just like that. You'll see a square at the bottom. You know we're talking about the height there. For a triangle, and we talked about this in class, a triangle is when we cut a rectangle in half diagonally. So the 2 is the same formula, but the 2 is when we cut it in half, and that's how we get that formula. The most important thing you need to do when you're doing the practice test today is write the formula. Then you're going to plug in the number for the various variables, the letters. You're going to multiply the numbers, but you are also going to multiply the units of measure. You're going to say meters times meters, and part of the answer is meters squared. So here comes an example of a triangle or a rectangle. Our first example, we have a length of 12 inches and a width of 10 inches. We write the formula, we enter the numbers for the variables, and 12 inches times 10 inches is 120 inches squared, and that is the area. If we work with a parallelogram, again, we're going to write the formula, area equals base times height. We go up for our information. We know the base is 7 millimeters. We know the height is 4 millimeters. We just simply plug it in and multiply. 7 times 4, we get 28. Millimeters times millimeters, we get 28 millimeters squared. Now for the triangle, same thing. We're going to record the formula. We're going to put in the numbers that we see that's given to us in the problem. And our base is 8 millimeters, 8 meters. And our height is 3 meters. And we're going to divide it by 2. So we multiply 8 times 3. We come up with 24. And then we divide that by 2. And our answer is the area is 12 millimeters squared. That is all we have to do. Now sometimes, and we've seen some problems with rectangles and parallelograms, we have to work backwards. So we're going to look at another set of problems. So when we need to solve for the outside measurement, again, we're going to write the formula. We're going to look to see what math is being done. And we're going to do the opposite. Opposites cancel, which means we're going to have the variable all by itself. And then we just complete the math and solve for the variable. So in this particular problem, the area is 108 yards squared. The length is 12 yards. We have to find the width. Well, just from the letters we used, L and W in area, I know we're talking about the formula for a rectangle, and we can even use that formula for a square. So let's plug it in. And here's a little typo. That's supposed to be a D right there, yards squared. So we have 108 yards squared equals the length, 12 yards, times the W, which we don't know. Well, right now we see that we're multiplying. The opposite of multiply is to divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 12 because we're trying to be fair. Opposites cancel. Now we're left with 12 into 108. Hopefully, if you have to, you do your division. 12 cannot go into 1. 12 cannot go into 10. Well, I'm going to try a number. I'm going to try 8 times 12. And I get 96. Well, that's too low. So just by process of elimination, I'll go up to a 9. 9 times 2 is 18. Carry the 1. 9 times 1 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. So I get the answer of 108 square yards. So I know now the W has to be 9 yards. 12 times 9 makes 108. That's how we solve for one of the missing measurements, and that is how we do areas of rectangles, squares, parallelograms, and triangles. Go ahead and do some of the problems. Good luck. Make sure you are using scratch paper. Make sure you have written down the formulas. Otherwise, you're probably going to make a miscalculation. So good luck.